All right, I did one.
Perfect. And I'll press my one. Oh, I'm sending you a request, it tells
Boom.
me. Yeah, there we go.
We're in business. What's going on, brother?
Oh, just got back from the gym in the morning, done some clients, done my work, and now into the online stuff.
Oh yeah, let's go. How good's that?
What'd you just get up to?
I'm still a little sick, so I didn't go to jiu-jitsu this morning, but I did have to go run in strength conditioning class. I came home, did some dog training, and then I shot my compound bone, bruised the fuck out of my arm. So that's good.
It's mad that you were sick as well, because like I started getting sick at the exact same time, and I saw
Right.
so sick. Soy is coming.
Boy is
What's that
coming.
about?
Yeah, dude, I thought that'd be a good one. I was like, because originally I was like, I need to post something. And I was like, well, I'm sick. I can't do anything of what I like of quality. And I was like, what if I steer into this and come up with what six stands for? And I'll make a content piece on that, and away we will go.
I love it. Like honestly, that's what I think Dylan talks about, just recording every morning based on what's in his head. And I found recently, like just leaning into what's going on in my life and then realizing if I'm struggling with it, there's other humans that exist that are struggling with it too.
Absolutely. Yeah, dude, that's like that authentic self. Hey, I was because I was felt a little disconnected from my content the last couple of months until this month where I was like, oh, I just haven't been having fun with it. And like that was like a really good moment where I was like, oh, I can have some fun with this. Like I'm sick. Cool. People get sick. What can I make out of this? And then it was good stuff for me to do anyway. So it's just being authentic. Hey.
It kind of, I feel like having a business where yourself is the business makes you like accountable all the time. Even when you're sick, it's like, okay, well, I still got to do stuff. Because last night I have a rule that I have to talk to my Instagram story every single day. And it was like, I like to be in bed by like 8:15, man. It was already 9 o'clock. I was still working and I hadn't done a video. My nose is running. And then I was just like, I made a video on how you can choose to show up anyway.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Mm.
And I think that is the most important thing to for yourself as well, right? Because it's like I don't that's the last thing I want to do right now. I'm sick. I don't want to do any kind of work. My head hurts, my nose is running. But promised myself that I would do this every single day, and I'm still showing up even when I don't want to. It might not be the same quality, but it is just you leading from the front. Hey,
Yeah, since I started doing the online coaching, like this morning it was pretty light. It was less sets than usual, but since I started doing the online, I haven't missed a workout because like I know who I'm showing up for and I know who I have to like demonstrate this to.
I love that, bro. I've got a question for you then, bro. So I did this myself, and it's if you had all the money in the world, what would you want to be doing with yourself?
I just posted a story yesterday, man.
Ah,
I was sat at a cafe and I was going through new clients' programs and doing some program updates because I was catching up with Dylan on the weekend. Like I kind of missed some of the productivity time I get, the catch up, and I was backlogged and I was a little stressed and I was like, man, there's a lot to do. And then I was like, hold up, this is my job. Like I get paid to do this. This pays my rent. This pays my food. Like, and then I was just like, and since yesterday, honestly, I've just been a lot more chill. Like, yeah, there's a lot to do, but I would do this no matter what. And it's funny you bring that up because I follow 100 people a day, right? I follow some random crap because I'm not looking when I tap. And
absolutely.
then there was this one guy that had like um a PayPal scam or whatever. He's like, if you send me $20, I'll give you 100 on PayPal. And I was like, when I was thinking, I was like, oh, what if it works? I was thinking, if it did work, I would literally like spend the money on a VA, on a nicer camera, on upgrading my trainer eyes, maybe going to Kahuna's instead. I was just like, I would do the same shit but bigger. I would do my
Yeah.
online coaching but bigger.
I love that, bro, because I did the exact same thing because it like online is a lot more work than I thought it was going to have to be, like big time. I've sort of just been coasting with in-person training for like the last, I don't know, 8 years. I've got the same amount of clients. They just sort of like filter through. I enjoyed it, but then I was like, oh, I'll do online. That should be cruisy, some passive income, I thought. Wrong. Um, way more work. But what I realized it really developed was a business where it demands me to be the best me, right? So my clients, like I can fake 30 minutes, right? Like if I'm not feeling it, I can fake that, no worries. But online, it's like I've designed this thing where I need to show up every single day. I am setting the standards for all these people. Like I'm the only content they get is whatever I post out. So I just need to live exactly what I do. And it's like there's nothing I'd rather have than something that makes me be the best me. And I just so happen I get paid for that, which is the best thing in the world.
It's pretty crazy because it's almost like being a micro celebrity, or it's being a celebrity for like a select few. And there really is that pressure, like that you hear famous people talk about, like having to live on point and like hold yourself up to a standard, and there's someone watching and stuff. But it's, I always find like the best pressure is external pressure, because it's a lot easier to let yourself down than to let people you care about down.
Absolutely. I love that so much. And I think that also speaks volumes into being authentic with your content. So that way you can just be yourself. So the standard you set isn't of someone else, right? Like it is you. That is literally you. So it's easier to just to turn up to be you, I think.
Yeah, removing the bullshit as well. It's like, man, you notice a lot about yourself when you start filming and like daily posting and talking to people online. It points out your crap, and then some random person on the internet will point out your crap as well. And it's like, it's a lot to face, but it's like it's 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 your first role in jujitsu. It's getting tapped over and over and over and over again. And like I see like people that have been PTs for ages who would probably benefit a lot from moving to online, but they don't want to do the first role. And I can fully understand that because it's harsh.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And like, yeah. So I've done like I think it was 8 years in Anytime Fitness. So, like I've done my stint of like in person. Then I went to the MMA gym I'm at now, base training center. But before, when I was just at Anytime, like there was a lot of coaches coming and going, and a lot just didn't make it, right? Like they didn't really love it. And I don't think this is a profession you can get in without this being everything. I feel like some people just lose a bit of weight or get a little stronger. They're like, oh yeah, that'd be a pretty cool job. And it is, it's fucking unreal. But you've got to genuinely love it for it to work. And every person I follow, they say that as long as you just don't quit, you'll make it to whatever you need it to be. Right. So I don't ever see quitting as part of it because I love it so much. I'm just going to grow and grow, and then I'm going to help all those people grow just from a byproduct of myself, right? And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And the reason why I think a lot of people quit is because, like, you've got your 5 a.m. alarm, your 4 a.m. alarms, all that kind of stuff. Most people that have one of those, they have that because they have to in order to get to work on time. We've got no one telling us we have to wake up this early. We've got no one telling us we have to get the work done. It's all self-implemented. And like, you kind of have to be a little crazy and you have to fully
Yeah,
love it in order to push yourself that much.
that's wild. That's a good perspective of it, bro. Because even just being sick the last 2 days, like I haven't done anywhere near as much as what I would do. Nothing's changed in terms of the values my clients are going to get, but the amount of output that I'm putting on because my standards have dropped while I'm sick for myself. I'm like, oh my God, am I about to lose clients? But it's like, no, they've got literally the same value. It's just like you haven't done as much. So it is you do have to be crazy about it. You do just have to be obsessed with it. And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. Another weird thing about transitioning from in person to online is like part of it is setting up the structure for if you were sick.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we were going up the Sky Tower, me and Dylan, and then like we're just, there was a kid's playground at the bottom, and he was just sat there making sales on his phone, and he was like, he'd made 5 sales in a week, and when we were meeting up, he was like, oh, I've been a bit lazy this week, you know. And then I went, he's been lazy and maintained like 3 businesses that are all 3 times bigger than mine. And not only maintained, but he's growing them on his phone whilst making it look like easy. He was relaxed
He's
as.
like, oh, I'm lazy. Yeah, dude, he's a beast. He is an
And
absolute.
it's the same way like you were giving yourself shit because your output was low, even though you're delivering the same value to your clients. It's you have to be so like self-critical that even when you've set up the foundations to keep things ticking along like Dylan has, you're still like, oh yeah, I'm lazy.
Bro, yeah, exactly. It's just a never ending thing, right? Like it's always just constant self progression, which is what I see myself as. Like the thing I chase most is just to improve in some way, 1% better every day. And then when you bring in your business that actually builds you as well, it's like, okay, cool, I can just get better. So when you feel like you are having a day off, I feel guilty straight away, which I know is something that I do need to work on because it's like I work so hard for it. I should be able to have some time off. But I also realized that the last 2 days was the first time I've been paid for sick days since the whole time I've been training because I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to go see anyone. I still get paid. Okay, that's different. That's nice. I like that.
It's pretty mad. Like I remember, so I've been a PT for nearly 3 years, and I've only had 2 days that I canceled that whole time because it's like if I'm sick, I'm losing money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
My
be fine.
friends will take a day off, like my flatmates, they'll take a week off, and I'm like a week off, and nah, fuck that.
And then, bro, you think of that, right? Because I'm the exact same. And it's like, what has that developed inside of us for constant growth? Because it's like, oh no, no days off, even when you don't want to. When you're like, oh man, I wish I could go to the beach today with my friends. It's like, I gotta make money. So it's just that discipline to keep pushing through when you don't want, without even realizing it's helping you so much just develop personally.
And I feel like it's made me smarter as well because this time, like the 2 days I got taken off, I had kind of felt it coming, but I was like, huh, what's going on? And like cluelessly drifted through it. And then I got wiped out, had to lay in bed, didn't move, could barely text my clients to cancel. And then this time I felt it coming and I was like, ooh, okay, spread the day out, slow it down, get the important stuff done, and then like slow down a lot so that I don't completely collapse this time. So it's maybe healthier.
I love that, bro. Just growing from the last stuff that's happened to you, right? Like you just progressing.
Yeah. And speaking of growing from like the roots, I can't picture you at all at Anytime Fitness.
Bro, I was year 10 when I first started at Anytime Fitness. I was just cleaning the toilets and stuff. I was doing like a school-based apprenticeship. Then by year 12, I'd finished my Cert 4, and I at the end of the year 12, so I think it was 2016. 2015 I graduated, 2016 I started PTing. I was charging like $30 a session. And then I've just PT'd from there. And I was so lazy, man. Like I didn't want to like people talk about PT sometimes, and I'm like, I never lived that life. Like, I didn't do 4 a.m. sessions. I didn't do like my earliest morning, I didn't do morning sessions for the first like 2 years. I only did afternoons. Then it was like 9 a.m., 8 a.m. I was like getting shitty with that. And now it's like it's crazy. Like I get up at 3:50 every morning to start work. But I know like just constant growth, right? Like I was like literally like my thing's like the soy boy, right? Like the reason I've come up with the soy boy is because that's who I was. I chose to work with men because I realize that I can obviously relate more to men. I don't understand what females are going through. I'll still help females. I just like target men. And then I go, well, I definitely don't want to target obese men. I've never been obese. I can't even imagine to like what goes through their head. I don't know. But soy boy, where you're skinny and lazy and just a little fucking boy. And I'm like, oh, I've done that. And now I'm here and it feels way better to be here. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's come on this journey together. So I always just, it's all about evolution. And even throughout my soy boy stages, there was evolution too. It's just different things, right? Different things to focus on and grow from. And now I'm here and that's important.
Yeah, bro, that was a clip right there, definitely.
Yeah. Love
it
that.
it it's so good, and it's like I can see that journey as well, and I think I relate to that journey massively too. And it's the same thing of like walking, helping the people that are on the same path as you, but we're each on our own step of it, and like pulling up the ones that were a little further behind you and still looking up to those a little further ahead.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like I know that I don't want to help people that are not like this, because that I can't even imagine anymore that even the starting position, right, of like trying to get into the gym for the first time. Like I can't even imagine what's going through your head because I've always wanted to just get into the gym. So I'm just that, like Dylan says, right? You just that couple steps ahead. I'm not unachievable. Like I do some fucking awesome things. Like I am very impressed with some of the stuff I can do, but I know I can be so much more. And it's like I know I can get people to this level, and with like just consistency. It's not like I'm some freak that's just like training. Like I don't know. Like, I just know I can get people here, and I think it's a good life to just be able to move as much as possible.
Yeah, Dylan said to me one time, like, most people's example of a teacher or a mentor is a teacher from school who didn't care about their job and was doing something they weren't interested in. But like a mentor can just be someone slightly further ahead of you. And the levels you can jump just by talking to a mentor or like getting a few tips. You and I both have like experienced stuff already where we're like, man, let's just help you like skip this part. Oh, you're struggling with your weight. Oh, you're trying all those protein powders and those milkshakes for mass gain, and like,
Oh,
oh, let's uh, let's
let's
accelerate
fast
past
forward.
that
Let's
bit.
fast forward past this
Yeah,
stage. You don't need to have to shit yourself. We can get past this. We're good. I love
and
that.
it's so good. It's like shining a light on what would have remained dark if it wasn't for your presence.
Exactly, bro. And I thought to myself, like, how far I've been training. I think this will be my 11th year, like, properly, consistently training. And that's a long time of consistency, right? So it's a lot of lessons learned. And like, I look back now, I'm like, oh, if I had just done this, it would have gone way faster. And it's like, well, that's exactly the point. I've learned these lessons and now I can pass that on to someone so they don't have to go through 10 years and we can like try to speed it up as much as possible.
Yeah, that's the intangible benefit. It's like the program has the workouts, it's got the nutrition, it's got the meal plans, but a huge part of it is just like, dude, whatever you're struggling with, I've done that. Like, let's just talk about it and get you through it right
Absolutely.
now.
I've got one client. He started off soy, like super, just I honestly at the start was like, oh fuck, this is I don't know how this is gonna go. It's either like he'll commit and be really good, or he's just gonna like bail on it and just not be good. But since starting with me, man, I think he just hit like 40 weeks training with me. Complete U-turn on life. He's training every day. He's doing kettlebell workouts with his stepson. They're bonding through that, which is so cool. He's doing cold showers every morning. When he first started doing cold showers, because that was like one of the first thing I challenged him to do. It was just like, fuck, I hate this, fuck, I hate this. But he always did it. And now he's like, they're getting easier. Like I'm just winning the battles. There's still that voice there, but I'm winning more battles. And it's like that's exactly the point, that you can't just tell someone that happens. You have to experience it, right? So I've got the frameworks of the things that I know help like dissociate from that voice to me and be like, oh, I need to fight that. And now I've got you some simple routines to do every day so you can experience it and then you'll click for you. And now he's killing it. He's doing weighted chin-ups, he's doing cold showers, ice baths, like he's doing really good. And it's like, okay, cool. Like that was literally 10 years worth into 12 months and not even yet. So it's like it's insane.
It is crazy how much it can accelerate. And part of the skill of our coaching is like remembering the steps that got us there in the first place. Because we'll eat organ meats and everything now. Go strict carnivore or like
Yep.
your weight loss protocol. Like we'll discipline into that. But I remember for me, the start was just like when we went on road trips and my mum would pass around a bag of lollies. I just said no every second time. I still had lollies. I just had like 30% less lollies. And then now I'm eating raw liver, sheep hearts, kidneys, whatever. And like, but the journey in between, it's like there's a lot of mental shifts that have to tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
And
That's
having
awesome.
someone hold your hand through that, it's like, ah, it's so good to provide that.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, right? Like we are holding their hands through it, but we're also teaching them their framework so we don't hold their hand forever, right? Because that's like one of the main things I say. I'm like, I hope we're boys in 5 years, but I don't want to be holding your hand anymore. Like I would like to just give you a 12 month intensive of like we're gonna get you to this new person that I want to hang around with all the time. And then we're just like trading ideas, right? Like that's the most ideal goal. It's like let's fast track you and then we just play around with some fun. And like that's why I say to a heap of people, it's like we lose that first little bit of fat, we put on that little bit of muscle, we get to that body composition where you're happy with, and now we just have fun with your athletic abilities, right? We just have fun with, like, we're eating good foods, but it's really just getting those basic things down, so then we can just have fun. And like that's one of the big things with what I do is I have fun all the time, and training is forever. Whenever I get a bit stagnated in my training, I realize I haven't tried to learn anything new. I'm not having fun, and it's like, oh, let me do this, and then I'll find a whole new area, right? Which like actually brings me to asking you about the Czech Institute, because I'd really love to know what all that was about, because I have looked at him for a while. He's a fucking beast.
Yeah, Paul Check's the man, like clearly a product of the product. So I did holistic lifestyle coaching, level 1. So there's holistic lifestyle coaching, and then I believe it's called scientific exercise coach, or the science of movement training. I've done the prerequisites for that as well, like studied his movement philosophy as well. So good for pain management and injury management. And it's kind of like, I would say not the basics, but the foundations of all movements, and getting like scientific and a really clear plan to everything. The way that Dylan brings structure to online coaching, Paul Check brings that structure to movement.
Oh, okay. Right.
And the holistic lifestyle coaching stuff would blow you away. Like for an online course, the depth of the information, it's just like there's info on everything, and goes so deep, like lifestyle changes as well. What I've recently started doing is I'm just restudying the course and making my reels based off of bits that I pick up from the course.
Perfect. Yeah. I was going to ask that, say how much of that has influenced you and even just your content making?
Yeah, my whole perspective. So there's the 6 foundational principles. So breathing, thinking, eating, drinking, sleeping, and moving.
Love it.
Everything I do, I'm talking about all of those. And like, what's the biggest part for me is looking at everything holistically, like the whole package. Getting into the psychological stuff as well. Like if someone has shitty posture and they're kind of like shy and stuff, well, yeah, we can do resistance band pull aparts to open them up, but their posture isn't going to change at the end of the day if they're still a shy soy boy, you know? So
yeah.
And there's actually quite a lot of that. Like, and he breaks down, you've heard of the chakras?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So he calls them the zones because people are a bit closed-minded around chakras typically.
I think that's a genius idea. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like it's sort of wrapped up, but he talks about the energy centers of your body because they actually exist spiritually, but also physically. So the nerve plexuses, like the centers of our nervous system, run through those 6 spots as well. And each of those 6 spots, it's like traditional Chinese medicine, certain areas house certain emotions as well. And just like, it's basically some dude who studied life and how to live healthily in all the different ways, like Chinese, Hindu, Tantra, Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, just condensed into, trying to
awesome,
be
man.
helpful.
I might look into that actually, because on my journeys, from being a soy boy, I did some drugs for a while there, right? So, I got pretty spiritual for a while, and then moving from that, because I knew what I needed to do was to go sober, and I sort of left all the teachings that I had got from that behind, and I want to integrate them back in. I think that's the perfect way, because I still journal and stuff like that, and I do have some beliefs that have still come from this, would be really cool. But I do think just bringing it all together with just my life and stuff like that, I think that'd be really cool. So I might have a look into that, bro. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like when you go down certain rabbit holes and then you realize you've gone beyond what's useful, and you swing too far into the yoga style life, and then you're like, shit, I need to actually make some money here.
That's exactly right, bro. That's when I went vegetarian. That's when I was doing a heap of yoga, and then I was like, I wasn't doing strength training anymore. It's like, hang on a minute. I think I've
Yeah.
gone too far here. I think I've got some awesome lessons that I can take away, and I have that have made my life a million times better. I'm so thankful that I went down that journey. I'm so thankful that I'm not on that journey still. So I
Mm.
like to integrate, and I like to do that with even just like building programs. It's like, what did I learn from this program when I did this? Even like knees over toes. I don't want to do the full knees over toes program every day for the rest of my life, but I will take the foundational stuff that I took from it, integrate it into my master plan, and then like I just add in WEC method stuff or check stuff, whatever, but I want to integrate everything and more than just movement. I want to integrate all the learnings that I've had, even spiritually and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I think there's the Bruce Lee quote, absorb what is useful and discard what is not.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. And so with the check stuff, it's really good for having the structure to actually apply that to someone's life, because it also breaks down like how someone would be ready to receive information like that. I think it is beautifully designed for someone along our mindset, like could fully go Eastern spiritual, just live in Bali and meditate all day, every day, but also like fully in the Western world, loves life, loves friends, loves hanging out with people. And so it's sort of a nice blend of the two, um, and bringing holistic, healthy stuff into like a modern lifestyle.
Love that, bro. I really do.
Mm.
I think for me, even the word holistic has got like some like I don't know beliefs around it, like that's you going too hippie. I would love a different word for that. That
Yeah.
because I do think there's words in the, even yoga, bro. Like you say that people are like, oh, but it's like you tried yoga, it hurts. It hurts a lot, right? So I think I would love to go into that. I will definitely look into the check course as well. I do think that language is very powerful in getting my message across because I know that people aren't, especially when I'm like, don't be soy, don't be soy. Like it's very like straight to the point, alpha kind of thing. And it's like, oh, holistic. I don't know. Like I just want another word for it, I think. But I think all those messages are something that I do want to deliver to my clients in particular, but anyone that's listening too.
It's mad. You pointed it out earlier. I've forgotten what word we were talking about, but like how I just had it, but it was sort of yeah, talking about the zones, how Paul Chek calls them zones instead of chakras because you get an immediate block. If some
Instantly.
people
Yeah.
yeah, if they hear chakras, they're not bloody doing it. But
Yeah.
like if you did cat cow or bird dog from yoga and you posted a video where you call it like back extension plus pressing ability,
Yep.
and then you just label it totally different, you could have gym bros hitting yoga poses and going like, bro, this is for my BJJ, like this is a fighting move, this isn't yoga, what are you talking about?
That's that's had like a light bulb click for me there, bro. I haven't even thought about just naming things different to get all these guys in. That's
same
cool.
same exact thing, different labels, like dress
Yeah.
it up, put a costume on it. And it's I heard this great quote, like if you really care about people, you want to give them he used broccoli in the example as a healthy food, but
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
use steak. So
Yeah.
if you really care about someone, you want to give them the steak. But if you fucking love them, you'll dress the steak up like chocolate because then you know they're actually going to eat it.
I love that. That is gold, bro. That is gold.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's so true, man. If you can have the best message in the world, but if it does not get that, if you can't express that message to someone because they will just get blocked, and that's not even their own fault, right? Because they have just learned something and then they won't even realize they're getting blocked. It's yeah, that's amazing, bro. That's really something I want to dig deeper on.
Yeah. How do you get past their conditioning? It's like lay it out in a way that's acceptable to their conditioning.
Yeah, dude, that is awesome. I really like that. That's a big takeaway from this because I want to give as many messages as I can. Like I do live a really fucking good life. I am happy nearly all the time. I feel good, like really good. And if I can express that to someone in a different way that clicks, then I've just helped another person. So if I can help more people, even just by changing how I talk, that's huge.
Exactly. I feel the same way, man. And it really is about getting it across. Like communication is what the other person's hears, not what you intend.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's like it,
You go.
they can't implement what you mean. They can only use what they understand.
Man, that's awesome. All right, I'm definitely gonna have to dig deep on that because that's something similar. I've been reading this Tony Robbins book at the moment, man, and it's unreal. And Dylan says stuff like this all the time too, but sometimes it just takes someone else explaining it too, right? And like he's just like, it's the questions you ask yourself that will change your life. Once you start just instead of just going through the conditioning that you've gone through asking the same stuff, it's like if you start changing how you question everything, you'll get new answers, you'll get new results.
I asked myself the best question ever yesterday because I was hanging out with Dylan. He's got his kids, he's got Jess there, he's on holiday, like in a different country. And he was just so relaxed about everything. I'm like, he makes 5 times more than me. He helps 5 times more people than me. And he's just chill, nonchalant, enjoying things. And I'm always highly strung. I'm always wound up. I'm on edge. Sometimes I put headphones in when I'm at home, not because I'm listening to something, just because I don't want distractions. And I'm like, sometimes I don't appreciate the people around me enough. And I told myself the excuse in my head, oh, it's because you're working really hard and it's because you're building a lot of stuff. And then I just asked myself the question, what if I was the type of guy that could achieve the same amount I'm achieving now, but did it whilst calm and relaxed
Because
and generous?
stressing about it, being high strung, helping, right? Because you're not going to put out the same quality stuff. Like maybe there's a bit of urgency there, but what if you just acted with urgency and not stress? That's cool. I like
And it also made me ask what systems, what structures, and what routines would I have to have in my business in order for that to be possible as well. And since then, it was just like, and that coffee that I had the other morning, and I was like, this is my job. I was just like, bro, and what would you do if you won $1 million? It's like this. So why am I getting wound up about it?
Yeah,
This is my dream.
Yeah, that's it. That's so good, bro. Because until I started this job has definitely brought me the most stress I've ever had, and like, but I've also got like way more money than I've ever had, and it's like something I didn't think. I thought if I had more money, I wouldn't have as much stress, but it's not like that, right? It's all on me. Whereas before I was just coasting. So that's cool, man. One of the Tony Robbins questions he puts in the book, and it's to start off, it's just to break the system, right? It's just like, what about this problem do you love? So now you've got to find something that you actually like. It's like, well, this is my job. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. So now you're out of that loop of just like spiraling out of control. And then he says, what's not perfect right now? And then you just go, okay, that assumes that at some point it's going to become perfect. And it's okay. Okay, well, what am I willing to do to make it perfect? It's like, okay, well, if I schedule this in, this will make it work. And then it's like, what can I do to have fun while I do the work that's necessary? And it's just like you break that cycle, you know that it's going to be okay. You figure out what you're going to do it. How can you do that thing and have fun doing it? And I think that's really helped me the last couple of weeks.
Definitely. If you want to dive deep on the mental side of things, a lot of what Tony Robbins does and a lot of like the best mindset stuff you'll see online, it all comes from, you'll have probably heard of it, NLP, neuro linguistic programming. Yeah. And like, so that presupposition, right? What about this isn't perfect? Oh, that assumes it will be in the future. And what about this problem do I love? Oh, it assumes there's a good part.
Yeah.
When you just put the right assumptions in place, like saying, instead of saying, I have to take a cold shower, I get to take a cold shower this morning.
Yeah.
Your brain starts firing different on those two sentences.
I love that. And I think that's really good, man, because even like I've just been doing the 75 hard, right? So it's like I've said countless days, oh, I have to do 2 workouts. It's like, no, you get to do. It's so cool that like every day I know I get to do 2 workouts and I'm gonna be way better than I was when I started. So it's harder when there's so many tasks that you know that has to get done, but it's like, no, you get to do them. That's the whole point. You're here for this reason. You know, that's pretty awesome.
And it's mental how just saying that sentence differently will have your brain think about it. Like when you say I have to, your brain will think of all the reasons why it sucks. change nothing apart from the one word get to, and the brain immediately goes, oh, why is this something that I'm grateful for? And you're like, oh, because I'm moving, I'm proving I'm disciplined. So you don't have to change life. You can just change the way you think about life.
I love that, man. That's something that I do want to go in deep. Like I'm doing a mindset course at the moment because I realize that my mindset is the thing that I need to develop the most. So like when it comes to jiu-jitsu comps, if I lose one match, I spiral. I'm like, oh my God, what if everyone's come to watch and I just lose every single match? And now it's like, you can't compete with that now. That's all that's going through your mind. And then it's the same with like handstands even. Like I hit that minute handstand the other day, but for 3 days in a row, I hit 58, 59 seconds. But instantly I started freaking out when I got close. So I know that there's such an area for growth for me from doing this mindset stuff. So I'd love to look into the NLP stuff and what other things I can find for mindset, because I've always said strength has given me everything, but like it's really just building the mindset. The mindset is everything, right? Like the discipline has added to the mindset as well, but those things are just byproducts to build the big thing, right?
The physical is a lagging metric of the mental. And when you make those mental changes, you can switch and that unlocks the physical. But we assume it's physical because there's like a transition point. But the mental change that allowed you to get the minute handstand, that took place somewhere in between the failure and the successful one. It wasn't necessarily in the successful one. And like
Yeah.
you can unlock stuff with that switch. And a lot of it, it's not like leveling up your mind, it's just unlocking the stupid restrictions that you had in place.
I love that. I really do, man, because that's another thing as well. It's like unlocking those things and then unlearning other things as well. Hey, because there'll be some assumptions I make that it's like, hang on, when did I learn this? When did I get taught this? Why do I think this way? So it's just like breaking down those structures and building up some new pathways. Hey,
Yeah, bro. I had a couple questions, which was firstly, your email with the Zoom link, it went to my spam. So in case you didn't know that, you might want to tell people to check their spam.
thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
And how do you find sales calls with a time limited Zoom?
I don't do sale calls on Zoom. I just try to ring them on the phone.
And do you have video call on or off?
Off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done. I think I might want to. I think that could be really good. But when I was just doing my one-on-one sales practice with Brad, he just said, no, just do it over the phone. Don't worry about Zoom. But I think I would benefit more from it because I think I could actually get a good connection with people.
Yeah. I feel like your people would buy in a lot to you. It's like,
Yeah,
because you're at the point where it's like, holy shit, Jesse is talking to me, you know?
yeah.
For certain people, it's like the superhero is actually here to help you up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's good, bro. I might just I think it might be a good idea just to start doing Zoom calls. I think that'd be a good move. Instead. So thank you for that. I'll take all that on board for sure. I've only got a minute left until I tried to hit upgrade now, bro, but it won't let me. So I've got a minute left. Is there any other questions you want to, or anything you want to talk about?
I reckon we will just do this again sometime.
Stole, bro. That was so much fun. It's been well
Yeah.
overdue too, so I'm definitely keen to go again.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 40 minutes. Eh? It's like we clicked on the call and then time just
Hey, instantly, bro. I thought that would happen though.
yeah. I was like, when you said, oh, is there anything you want to talk about? I'm like, I guarantee we're gonna hop on and it'll just spew.
Off we go. I love it, bro. All right, brother. Well, thank you very much, and let's do this again real soon.
Yeah, catch you on the Mamba call soon.
Talk to you soon, bro. See you later.
Later.